everyone, it's Friday and today is my favourite learning activity at the end of every big question. Our big question today is, where is Africa and how is it different to where we live? We've been looking at that for the last 2 weeks. We've found Africa on a map, we've learned loads of different things about it, and today is the day where we get to share what we've learned. We have looked at lots and lots of things that are similar, the same and different between Africa and the United Kingdom where we live. We have looked at the weather all week long. Last week we learned a little bit about their school life in Africa, in Kenya specifically, and what our school life is like. We've looked at what it's like to be at home at the village in Kenya and what it's like for us to be at home. We've learned about different landmarks, like Victoria Falls, the fantastic waterfall in Africa, and we've learned about the Lake District before, and we've learned about Edinburgh Castle when we learned about our trip around the UK with Pilot Hayes. Finally, I know you're most exciting, many of you have been looking at the wildlife or the animals that live in Africa. How are they different to the animals that live in the UK? Your task is open-ended today, and that means you get to choose how to complete it. Can you create something to show the differences between Africa and the United Kingdom? There are lots of different things you can do. You might like to make a poster, your own PowerPoint presentation. You've sent in lots of PowerPoint presentations about the Big Five, and they have been excellent. You might like to make a video. You might like to write a fact file. You could use a 2-column table, a Venn diagram, or even come up with your absolutely own individual idea. On the next few slides, I'm going to show you just one idea. It doesn't mean it's the idea you have to complete, but it's just one. For what I did, I chose to make a poster. For step 1, I put my paper landscape or long ways. I folded it in half, I made a crease, and I opened it back up again so that I had 2 sides. Then I labelled one side United Kingdom. You can see that I used a ruler to make a line to keep it tidy. And on the other side, I wrote the name Africa. I used capital letters for both because they're proper nouns. For step 3, I sketched an outline of a person. You can see their head here, their body coming down, 2 legs and 2 arms, and I did that along the centre line, so that half of the body was in the United Kingdom and half of the body was in Africa. Once I did that, I had a pause, and I wrote down lots of things in a mind map that reminded me of the United Kingdom and things that reminded me of Africa. I needed that list to do my next job. For step 4, I thought about my mind map and made sure I sketched and drew some landmarks, examples of wildlife or the animals that might live there, things that reminded me about the weather, clothing that people might wear, and things about the school and home life that we have learned about over the last 2 weeks. I haven't included all of the information because I haven't had very long. Yours, I'm sure, will be much more complete because you have more time. If you have a look carefully at my United Kingdom sign, I have drawn Stonehenge, which is a landmark that's known all around the world that is found in the United Kingdom. When I wrote its name, I made sure to use a capital letter because it is a proper noun, and I drew a simple sketch of what Stonehenge looks like to me. Underneath, I drew a picture of a badger. Badgers live in the United Kingdom. They usually come out at night, but you can occasionally see them in the daytime, and they are in many, many British stories for children. On the Africa side, I drew a picture of the Great Pyramid. Again, a capital letter for Great and Pyramid because it is a proper noun. It is its name. I drew a picture of the globe with a line going through the centre for the equator, and wrote it's warmer near the equator because typically it is warmer in Africa than it is in the United Kingdom. Then I drew a picture of a rhinoceros. Rhinoceros can be seen in the United Kingdom. I know some of you might have seen them if you go to Portland Zoo or any other nature park. However, rhinoceros are native to Africa, so I put them on the Africa side. If you look at my person along the centre line, the people on the United Kingdom side, I have in short sleeve top and long trousers. I've been wearing that sort of clothing lately because it has been nice and mild in our springtime weather. On the Africa side, I had put the person in a sun hat to keep them out of the sun's hot rays, same short sleeve top, and shorts instead of trousers because it is ever so much warmer. I wonder what other ideas you might have. What things would you add to make my sketch even better to include landmarks, school and home life, and the weather on the United Kingdom side, and the same on the Africa side? I can't wait to see what you come up with. Finally, I added colour and details and made sure that my labels were accurate, they were spelled correctly and written carefully. Remember to use capital letters for the proper nouns. So you can see I've added Africa into my globe, I've labelled my sun hat, shorts and trousers, and I've just added some colour to make it more interesting. Now mine isn't finished because I was rushing a little bit so that I could share my learning with you. Don't forget you have much more time, so I think maybe you might like to include more things on the United Kingdom side and even more things on the Africa side. For me to be very proud of my learning, I'd definitely like to add a bit more, but it's a good start. Once you've answered your big question, please share your project on the Year 1 email. We cannot wait to see your learning, and we really hope to see you all soon. Have a wonderful weekend.